Well, ACPO's got a very clear position that we think there does need to be change and there are too many police forces. But I think where we are now, the government have made it clear that is not going to change. So therefore we have to concentrate on things like collaboration, getting some national services like national air support, and really working within the current structure. So as you know, the government has been very clear that the structure won't change. It'll be interesting to see now what happens in Scotland. With their debate about whether they should have a single police force for the whole of Scotland. I think if that happens, then that will reignite the debate down here. Well, we've had a very good debate, but it does show that there are a lot of complex issues in there. You know, one of them is about what is the X factor around policing, which means that officers should be paid more than other employees of a comparable range. Difficult issues around direct entry. How do we move to a system where you're paying officers and other staff for their role and their expertise? Something that ACPO believes in, but there are huge amounts of detail to be worked through. So I think some really complex issues, but it is about the fact that policing is becoming more and more complex, that all staff have a right, I think, to be rewarded for their role, not just length of service and their rank. And, you know, we need to recognise that the service is changing and therefore we do need a different system of pay and conditions, but on the other hand, not throwing out some of the really good stuff which produces such a great workforce that we've got. Well, I think it's an issue which concerns all of us, absolutely. At least, you know, it gives us a little bit more detail about what might come after the NPIA, but clearly it's a hugely important operational issue. We've got a bit of an outline there, but clearly there's huge amounts of detail and questions in terms of how such a company would operate. And while I also think it's important to look around that governance and how you can provide computers cheaper and better, you've also got to say that, you know, National Police IT has not been a great success story, and we just also need to concentrate on what's best for the frontline officers and obviously best for the public.